Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. What we got going on today we are actually doing another video. This video I'm gonna do a top 3 performance mods that you should do for your G35 or 350Z or any VQ, I guess. It's all the same basically. Oh hell no, fucking Camaro V6. So yeah, this is my 05 G35 Coupe Rev-up 6-speed manual. Where'd the sun go, bruh? So yeah, here's my G35 tuned on 91 by Saul, Nismo nights here in SoCal. The numbers it did make are, if I remember correctly, I don't remember the torque off my head, I do have a picture, but the wheel horsepower, it did make 255 wheel, but the reason being is because the car was misfiring. My spark plug tube seals were leaking, so I got that fixed. I replaced the valve covers and gaskets, did a lot of maintenance, so it's not misfiring anymore. Yeah, that was the numbers when I tuned it with that issue. So technically it made 255 with a misfire. So if I were to get it retuned, I would hope it would make close to 280 wheel. Now that it's not misfiring anymore and I got that fixed, but obviously I don't really know until I retune it. I don't really plan on retuning it like right this second, but hopefully in a couple months we'll retune it, maybe go 85. Performance rundown, it's in the description, but let me just name it. So it has an intake, that's if I don't change it. I actually have an intake that I just picked up, it's from Z1, but they all do the same thing. Let me show you guys a sneak peek on the next possible video. Don't mind the dirty trunk, but I actually just picked up a new intake. So we actually have a Z1 intake right here. Filters in there. It's the OEM box design, which is really nice. Here's the tube that connects to it, the intake pipe. So that's the next possible video of me installing this one and exchanging my current intake, which right now I have the Stillen intake. Yeah, we'll see how this one performs. I actually found a pretty good deal on it on Facebook Market, so we picked this up. So intake, Plenum Spacer, a lower plenum from a non-rev-up. There you go, that's what it has. So I swapped my rev-up lower plenum to a non-rev-up lower plenum just to give me more power in the mid-range instead of top end. I did that manifold swap so I could have it in the mid-range. I just prefer it to have it there. It's just better power band throughout all gears, bigger throttle body, stock headers, stock injector, stock fuel pump, test pipes. I have Motordyne ART pipes, Motordyne Catback. That's what I have on the car. Hopefully I didn't forget anything, but then again, it's in the description if I did forget. Enough of that yapping. Number one, I would say for all you DEs, I'm gonna go top 3 for DEs and then top 3 for HRs. They're pretty much similar, but this is for DE because obviously my car is a DE. Number one, I would say, is get a Plenum Spacer. So Plenum Spacer, for the money, I feel like you'll notice and feel the most gains out of most bolt-ons. They're around, depending on what brand you go with, they could go from 100 if you go for a really cheap one that are like made out of like a hard plastic, or if you spend more money and get one that's like aluminum, a little bit better material, more stronger, more durable, maybe 300 max, but mostly around $200. The most common sizes that people go with is 5/16 or a 1/2 inch. Me personally, I went with one that is tapered, so it actually is one side is actually 1/2 inch and then it tapers down into a 5/16. So mine's actually angled. So I actually got that one from the GK Tech website. They have their Plenum Spacer. I remember when they dropped it, I bought it, so there wasn't anyone really running it, but from my experience, it's been really good and car feels really great. So if you guys want to check out that Plenum Spacer, go ahead. So that does a really good power jump for the price. So number one, Plenum Spacer. There's a lot of brands out there. Z1 makes one. Theirs is actually angled. I heard it's not bad. Motordyne makes one, whether it's a full inch all around or a full 5/16 all around, they make one. Blocks, I think they're called Blocks Racing. That's the one that makes one that's like around $100. If you really want to be on the budget, you could go that route. There's a lot of companies out there. The second mod is, I would say, get test pipes. Why would I say test pipes? Obviously, with any car, like for turbo cars, down pipes and stuff like that, they do the most gain and the most noticeable power jump. Is because you're deleting the cat, which restricts a lot of airflow to the car. You don't need a tune with any of this, but obviously you're gonna want to get one down the line. If you're just gonna put it and run no tune the entire time, your car is either gonna run rich or it's gonna run lean. I actually did all my mods before getting a tune, which I highly recommend. If you know for sure you're gonna get a tune, just buy all the mods, put them on. Your car will still run, but it will obviously over time either run rich or lean. And just get a tune as soon as possible once you throw everything on. Obviously there's some mods you need a tune. I think injectors is one of them. Like if you're going bigger injectors, I think you can't run a car. I could be wrong, but I think you need a tune to even start the car. So injectors you can't do without a tune. Fuel pump, I think you can. You don't need a tune. I think a bigger fuel pump, I think you'll be fine. I'm not too sure on that. Fueling, I'm not too sure since I don't have those mods. Bigger intake, like if you go 3-inch intake, which a lot of some tuners make 3-inch for these cars, you need a tune for 3-inch intakes or 3.5, whatever. Anything bigger than the stock diameter MAF housing, you're gonna need a tune for that. But everything that's the same MAF size housing, you'll be fine. So, which is most intakes out there. Number 3 for power mods, a catback. Whether you go single or dual, but you could go single, you could go Tomei, ISR, agency power, any catback. Help free flow the rest of the exhaust. Headers, I would say it's not worth doing. It's a pain in the ass kind of to do for the amount of gains you're gonna get out of headers. It's not really worth it. Well, it doesn't really do much for the hassle you got to go through. So I recommend skipping headers, maybe saving it last if you really want to do it. If anything, it's just gonna add sound, more volume. That's about it. But that's what I would wait on. Everything else that isn't Plenum Spacer, test pipes, and a catback, it's just add-ons to help get every little power out of this car. So like throttle body, it's cool if you're really trying to squeeze out power, get it, but it's not something I recommend. There's obviously the other stuff I mentioned are way better, but if you are trying to squeeze out everything, fuck it, get it. Another one I would say is not really necessary is an intake. Intakes don't really do much. It's all sound basically. It does help the car breathe a little bit better, but overall they don't really do too much. But like I said, if you're trying to just do every bolt-on, go ahead and do it. It's just not going to do as much of a difference as the other ones I mentioned. So yeah, those are the top 3 mods I recommend performance wise: Plenum Spacer, test pipes, and a catback. HRs, for you HR people out there, I would say it's the same thing. From my knowledge from HRs, it's not as much as a DE since I don't own one, but it's still a VQ. So I would say test pipes is one, I guess catback is the other, and then for the third one I would say go 3-inch intakes. So the intakes that go in the front of the bumper towards the grill area, the 3-inch ones, those I highly recommend. So if you do have an HR, test pipes, catback, and 3-inch intakes, for those intakes you're gonna need a tune, so I would wait on those before the tune. So maybe have them ready to install right before you put it on the dyno. But yeah, those are the 3 for HRs, for DEs, Plenum Spacer, test pipes, and the catback. The rest are all supporting mods. So yeah, those are my 3 mods. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know. Drop a comment down below on what you want me to film next. Yeah, man. Subscribe, like, comment. Peace.